Today we're going to talk about the 3dTouch on the RAMPS 1.4. In a moment I'll explain the 3dTouch and the connectors that are used with the RAMPS 1.4. Okay, with the 3dTouch we have two wires right here and here that need to be connected. Now these bundle of wires are kind of interesting. We have to keep in mind that the brown wire is actually ground, the orange or dark orange wire is actually positive, and then the signal wire is the light orange over here. Then we have a black and a white wire. The black wire goes to the ground and the white goes to signal. So in a moment I'll show you how to connect to the RAMPS board. Okay, on the RAMPS we need to know a couple of things real quick. The three wires that we use for the powering of it will be connected to our servo ports, and the ports are negative, which is ground, positive, which is voltage, and then we have our signal. Now each one of these has a pin number. For the signal here we have D11, then we have D6, then we have D5, and then we have D4. So to connect it, we're going to have the brown on the outside for ground, and we're going to connect it to our D11, which is the first set of pins. Now in order to use it, we have to power it. So we have to connect or jump the VCC and the 5 volts together. So to do that, we take a jumper and we place it on the 2 pins and push it down. Now, in order to connect the signal, we have to connect it to our Z-min, and the order in which these go are X-min, X-max, Y-min, Y-max, Z-min, and Z-max. So we're going to have the black on the outside, and we're going to connect it to our Z-min, which is right here. So in a moment, I'll show you how to load the Marlin firmware after I connect the USB. Okay, in order to program the board, we have to connect the USB cable. So I have an extension cable running from my computer that I'm going to connect to here. And the other side I'm going to connect to the RAMPS Arduino board combination, and you'll hear a beep. Now keep in mind, after it's connected, you do not want to touch any part of the board for RAMPS, and you'll hear a beep on the computer. So in a moment I'll show you how to load the Marlin firmware. Okay, in order to load the Marlin firmware, we have to open up folder 1.1.8 for Marlin, then the Marlin subfolder, then we want to press M on the keyboard, and we want to open up marlin.ino. Okay, now we want to select the configuration.h tab. We want to do a search on touch. And then what we want to do is uncomment define BL touch. This will enable it in the driver. Now the delay for it you can figure out on your own, as well as the other functionality down here. So the next thing that I need to do is enable the number of servos. So we're going to do a search on num servos. And what we have here is define num servos 3. So what we want to do is uncomment this line, and because we only have 3 set, we're going to actually change it to 1 for this case. And then down below, if you were to have more servos, you could set the delay for each. If you had 2, you could say 300, but in this case we're only using 1. So we're going to check first to see under Tools that we have the right board selected so we can load the firmware. And right now we have the Arduino Mega 2560 selected, which is good. And then we have our COM port selected as COM4. So what we're going to do is we're going to compile and upload with the upload button. And in a moment, I'll show you how to test it. Okay, we're in the Pronterface folder. What I want to do is open up Pronterface.exe. Want to connect to the device. Now the first thing that we want to do is we want to verify what's going on with the end step. So we're going to type M119 and press enter. And right now, as you can see, X and Y are triggered. So that means that nothing's connected to them at the moment. And then we have Z-Min that's open. So in a moment, I'm going to press the Z home button and we're going to see what happens. And I'm going to actuate it with my finger. Okay, now that it's been actuated with my finger, I'm going to type M119 again and press send and see what happens. And as you can see, now it says triggered. So if you like my tutorial, please press the like button and subscribe, and thank you for your time.